Ever wish you could just, confidently navigate everyday situations in Spanish?
Absolutely.
Like ordering food,
Yeah,
asking for directions,
for sure.
or even just knowing when a shop closes.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that when you're learning Spanish with Pronunciator, you know those practical phrases are pure gold.
100%. And today's deep dive is all about one of those phrases that you'll use constantly, I guarantee it.
Okay.
Disculpe, ¿a qué hora cierra?
Cool.
It seems simple enough, right?
Yeah.
But I think what we'll find is that there's a surprising amount of grammar
Okay.
and cultural nuance packed into those four little words.
It's like a mini masterclass in Spanish etiquette and grammar all rolled into one.
I like that. I like that a lot.
So for our listeners, imagine you're in a Spanish-speaking country.
Okay.
And you want to know when a shop closes. This phrase is your go-to.
This is it. This is all you need.
Disculpe, ¿a qué hora cierra? And the very first word, disculpe, is crucial. It means, excuse me, but with an added layer of formality and respect.
It does. It does. And that's something that's
Yeah.
so important, I think, for Spanish learners to understand, is that it's not just about getting someone's attention. It's about showing respect from the get-go.
Right. Because I remember when I was starting out, I used disculpa, the informal version with a shopkeeper once. And, they weren't offended.
Right.
But I could tell I'd missed that mark of respect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
It's like using sir or ma'am.
Yeah.
Instead of just blurting out a question.
Exactly. Exactly. And, that formality, it's such a big part of Spanish-speaking cultures, especially when you're interacting with people you don't know very well.
Right, right.
And grammatically speaking, disculpe, it reflects that by coming from the verb disculpa, which means to excuse.
Okay. So disculpe sets that polite tone.
Sets the stage.
And then we get specific with the time.
Yeah.
¿A qué hora? Right. Break that down for us. How does Spanish build that "at what time" phrase?
It's actually beautifully logical when you break it down.
Okay.
A simply means at, que means what, and hora is time or hour. So literally, word for word, you're asking at what time.
I love how those little words work together.
It's elegant, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we get to the action cierra, meaning closes.
Exactly.
And here's, I think, a little grammar nugget that you might find interesting.
Okay.
Cierra comes from the verb cerrar, to close.
That's right.
But it's in the third person singular form.
It is. You're right.
So remind us, what does third person singular even mean?
Yeah, of course. So it means that the verb is conjugated to match a singular subject like he, she, or it.
Okay.
In this case, we don't explicitly say what's closing, right?
Right.
The shop, the museum, whatever it might be. It's implied. So it's like saying the store, it closes. But in Spanish, we just omit the store.
That makes so much sense. It's subtle. But it makes the sentence flow so much smoother.
It does.
So to bring it all together for our listeners, disculpe, ¿a qué hora cierra?
Means, excuse me, at what time does it close?
A simple question, but so effective. And it's mastering those small grammatical points that elevates your Spanish.
It really does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, here's something to chew on.
Okay.
How would you tweak this phrase to ask about the opening time instead of the closing time?
Ooh, good question.
Think about it. Play around with the vocabulary we've covered. You'll be surprised how much you could do with just a little Spanish.
I love it.
Keep up the great work with your pronunciator lessons, and we'll catch you in our next deep dive.
Sounds good.